Y'all kept telling me to go see what little baby Renesmee was supposed to look like, the animatronic. I said, get behind me, Satan. Away, beast. Girl, why would they ever think that that was acceptable? It was like somebody went down on Bourbon Street and found a drunk caricature artist and was like, can you draw me a picture of Lestat de Leon Core? And then that's what they came up with. Why the baby eyes was so big and far apart? Hello, why would they do that? What were the specifications that they wrote down on an order form to come up with that? I don't ever want to see that baby again. No thanks. I'm cool on that baby, and I really don't see how it can get no worse than that. It did, in fact, get worse. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for checking out this video. It's your girl, LB, and Blue. Don't say nothing about her haircut. Welcome to my channel, Watch With Me, LB, where I give you fun, fresh, and funny rants, reviews, and recaps on my favorite movies and TV shows. We did it, Joe. We finally came to the end of this saga. Y'all weren't lying. Y'all have never, ever lied to me. It got worse. I said that I didn't think it could get worse. What is that abomination they are calling a child? Y'all are God's strongest soldiers. I don't know how y'all did this in real time. I didn't care about nothing else that was gonna happen in this movie other than what Bella was gonna be like as a vampire and little baby Renesmee. Everything else was just, you can chuck it to the bag, okay? I am trying to get to 20,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'm well on my way. If you enjoy this content, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel to help me meet my goals. The movie opens up and Bella is a freshly formed baby newborn vampire, and she is strong and she almost breaks her husband in half when she goes to hug him. Bella said, oh my God, where's baby Renesmee? And then Edward is like, listen, girl, just chill. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna need to eat first. And as soon as he say you need to feed or hunt or whatever, she's like, oh my God, this is the hungriest I ever been in my life. I need to eat now. Now, you know the Twilight tutorials are legendary, baby. Bella didn't need that. She didn't need a tutorial. She already knew what time it was. And they run it really, really fast, and some stuff is fast and some stuff is in slow motion. And then I was a little confused about that because I was like, how can she see a flower bloom? Because a flower bloom real slow. So is her vision slow but her body fast? But it also really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. It would say, hey, babe, come on, slow down. Close your eyes, tell me what you hear. And she could hear squirrels chewing on wood. I don't know what squirrels eat, acorns? Yeah. She could hear owls hooting and fish swimming and ants pissing on cotton, child. Her hearing is great. I personally would be completely overwhelmed. I don't know if vampires can have their senses overwhelmed, because if I could hear conversations, cars passing, people passing gas, and everybody thoughts and stuff, hey, bro, that's too much. That's too much. And then she hears a little Bambi. She hears a little deer. And she's like, oh, no, babe, I got to have you. I got to have you right now. Now, you know Forks is literally a wildlife nature preserve. Anything you need to do in nature, babe, they have it. They have Antarctic penguins and crocodiles in Forks. I love that for them. She trying to do her little lesson plan and stuff, and then the wind blow. Now, you know the wind be taking... You know the wind be taking people out in Fort. And then she smelled a mountain climber climbing Mount Kilimanjaro over there like a big cliff. The man climbing on with no rope, no harness. He just climbing by the tips of his fingers. And I said, listen, them kind of climbers, no tea, no shade, and cave divers, you know when people find a hole that big, like, let's go and see what's in this little small ass hole. Them the ones you got to stay away from. They don't care. They ain't got nothing to lose, and they will take you down with them. I don't want this deer, babe. I got to have this human meat. I need it. The scent of his human blood hit Bella in the face, and she was about to go murder that man on a cliff. And she's like, I gotta get out of here. And then she just jumped off. She just jumped off the cliff and then just, I don't know where the hell the lady went. Thank God a mountain lion came, because you know I told you they got everything in Forks. This girl, she thought she was Ray Lewis, baby. She said, and tackled the mountain lion. Killed the mountain lion with her bare mouth, okay? I said, Bella, God damn, girl, you just really came out swinging, huh, friend? Edward is completely and totally turned on. He would have bent her over on the side of that mountain if he could, child. Because I said, listen, Edward, now is not the time, babe. The way this girl demolished this mountain lion, she didn't have no blood on her. She didn't have no fur in her teeth. Her hair wasn't messed up. She had no blood on her dress, baby. I'm talking about perfection. I said, listen, Bella, listen. So then she sees Jacob, and Jacob is like, oh, girl, you look good. You look nice except for your weird ass eyes, girl. Everything look normal, child. Say, well, come on, let's go see the baby. And said, come on, let's go see the baby. They go in the house and everybody's surrounding the baby because the baby is just and she finally see the baby and so do I, and really in the daylight. I said, baby, Renesmee, please, okay? The baby, first of all, the baby had 47 teeth in her mouth. Renesmee, girl, if you gonna be uncanny, ungodly like a little baby ghoul in a diaper, okay? At least have the consideration and not have 47 teeth in your mouth. Something about that little baby having all the really upset me because, girl, what? Girl, and everybody was just acting like that baby was the best thing they ever saw in a whole ass life of living. I said, are y'all okay? Are y'all farsighted? Because y'all real close to this baby. Maybe y'all can't really see it good. Maybe you need to back up. Maybe you need to just get some distance between you and that gargoyle. So then this retired school teacher they calling the baby put her hand on her mama's face. Bella starts seeing when she was in her belly and when she almost died and when she was a Party City skeleton and all the stuff that happened. Bella was like, well, girl, what's that? And then Edward was like, that's our girl. Okay, she gifted. She got a gift. The baby was born 2 days ago. So now you telling me not only can the baby sit up, the baby has 47 teeth in their mouth. The baby has a Roth IRA with Fidelity. And now the baby can control itself and just be like, girl, let me show you something right quick. And then just put, oh, no, that's too much. It's too much. It's too much. Jacob gonna say, all right, y'all done had enough fun with my old lady. Now y'all got to chill. Okay, I said, what? Jail. Go to jail. It's not like that. Jail. I don't care. I don't care if you can't help it. Jail. Incarceration. He gonna say, hey, bro, I didn't choose that. I didn't want to do that. That's how the technology works for imprintation, bro. I don't have nothing to do with that. Nessie chose me. Bella said, you named my daughter after the Loch Ness monster. Woo! Bella was mad, girl. She said, listen, I held my baby one time and already here you come thinking you got something going on with my child. She should have told him he needed to go to jail too, because you think you're gonna say I'm gonna lock this monster? And also, don't think that I didn't clock that Edward got some kinks with him, okay? Because when she was beating Jacob up and punching him in the woods and stuff, he was like, yeah, girl, get it, girl, do it. Kink. That's a kink. They didn't tell me why. I don't think they did anyway. Rosalie is obsessed with little baby Renesmee. I'm assuming it's because she wanted to be a mom when she was a human and she never thought she would get a chance to raise a baby. And then also, if somebody imprints on somebody else, do they always have to be together 24/7? Because that seems a little suffocation station. Now it's Bella's birthday again. So then Alice say, hey girl, happy birthday. We built y'all a house. They go in the backyard and see that they got a hacienda back there. I said, where that house came from? A Cullen casita back there. I said, oh. They go inside the house and it's really cute. They got lots of books and candles and lights and a fireplace, which they don't need because they dead. And they see the little girl room. Pause. The little girl was born 2 days ago and she's already the size of Radio Raheem's boombox. All right, I doubt she's gonna be able to sleep in that crib much longer. I don't know what y'all got that in there for. Y'all should have just got her a little, the back of an 18-wheeler, what them things called, a little storage situation. Because I don't think I trust Renesmee just yet. You know what I'm saying? Put her someplace and let's see what she do. I don't know. I feel like that room is a little too cute for her. She don't give me cute. And I know you think, oh girl, she just a baby, she pause. I don't trust that little girl. But most importantly, we getting back to the yam. Now I will say, the Breaking Dawn Part 2 yam was cuter than the Breaking Dawn Part 1 yam. I do have some critiques about the yam, and I'll get to that in a second. I do think that the way the yam presentation was presented in Part 2, I wasn't mad at it, because it gave the illusion. And then Bella did something, and they had some sparks behind, and I was like, and I keep forgetting that this is for children. I keep forgetting this is not for grown people. This is a PG situation. So I was like, okay, for some PG-13 yam, you could have gave me a little butt cheek or something, child. But I wasn't mad at it. In terms of my critique for the yam, I'm thinking that when two vampires get together, I feel like the whole little area around the little hacienda was gonna be cleared out from all the trees and stuff. Like a goddamn logging company went through there and cut down all the trees just from the sheer power of the yam. They didn't call me. They didn't ask me to come in and consult. You know what I'm understand, because you know my dream is to be an intimacy consultant. I'm never gonna get that job because I literally am not mature enough to do it. So now while Bella been going through all this death, destruction, turmoil, and yam distribution, child, Charlie been calling the house every 2 days to see about his child. Now I say pause. Charlie, you had told me you was a law enforcement officer. I myself will use every single tool at my disposal to see about my child. You mean to tell me I know this whole ass family that my daughter was hanging around all this time is back at the house and I'm gonna just call every day? Absolutely not. I don't know what was going on with Charles, but he wasn't doing enough for me. So they say, Bella, girl, you know, we got to take your daddy, you dead, girl. And then Bella was like, yeah, you right. We're going to break his heart tomorrow. I still don't understand why that has to be the case. Can that girl not move to Norway? Like, I don't understand. Like, if once they told the family that she was dead, they was going to have to leave either way. So just be like, hey, daddy, I live in goddamn Antarctica. Shit, I don't know. What's a cloudy place on Earth, child? I don't know. I live in Cloud City, Europe, somewhere. Jacob is upset about the whole we got to leave thing. He like, first of all, you can't take my baby old lady away. Jail. So he go over there by Charlie's house. Jacob does such a terrible job with trying to tell this man that he think that he coming over there to tell him that Bella dead. Charlie looked so sad. He was like, oh, no, she all right. She back at the house. Jacob. So then Charlie was like, all right, bet, I'm about to go over there. Jacob was like, nah, wait a minute. I had wanted to come over here and tell you something. And so he started taking off all his clothes. And I said, pause. Y'all was wrong for making that man take all his clothes off all the time. He was like, yeah, Charlie, bro. Just in case you needed to know, I just wanted to tell you. I was like, why you had to do all that? Charlie was like, hey, bro, we not that cool. And then wolfed out in front of Charlie and scared the shit out of Charlie. I said, bro, you couldn't tell Charlie close his eyes and count to 10? But y'all ain't got to stress this man out like that. Charlie gonna have a damn stroke. I said, Lord, Charlie, once you see little baby Renesmee, you ain't gonna be too much longer for this world. So Jacob go back over there to the house and be like, say, bro, y'all was playing too many games. I went ahead and pulled the trigger on that thing. I told Charlie what it was. I told him about me. I ain't tell him about you. But he on his way over here, so y'all better get that together. Now they got to teach Bella dumbass how to be human again, like she wasn't human for 18 years. You know the Twilight tutorials. You got to teach people how to do stuff that they already know how to do already, child. Apparently, Bella don't know how to walk like a human. She can only walk in super fast forward speed. When I had just saw her walk in the woods with that little dead man she married, so what she did, not too, child. Anyway, she was just strolling. Bella, girl, don't forget to blink. Bella was like, yeah. Is this good? Bella, you was literally just... Okay, Bella, you got it, baby. You win. Charlie gets to the house. He looked terrible. Carlisle being extra creepy. Hello there, Charlie. Hey, bro. You had my child and you wasn't answering the phone? Everybody standing up on their feet except Bella. Sitting there with her arms and legs crossed. He was like, hey, daddy. How you doing? Like, she was like really like bound up tight on the sofa. It looked like Bella was being held hostage, but somebody was in the sofa, in the pillow cushion with a gun to her back. Like, bitch, if you move, I'ma blow your spine out your back of your... Girl, like, why was she acting like that? I would have thought of abuse. All these men surrounded her. And then she's like, hey, dad. Yeah, I'm fine. Everything is... I've never been better. Abuse. I would have yanked my child arm out the socket, pulling her out of there. Then she continued with the BS. Yeah, daddy, I'm sorry. I can't tell you what's going on. I know I look weird, act weird, smell weird, face pale. You're just gonna have to deal with it. And also, where's this girl's mother? The whole time her daughter been missing for 60, 70, 80, 90 days. And she was like, she'll be all right. She all right. You know Bella crazy. And then Charlie turn around and they bring that goddamn gargoyle in there. I say, listen, keep that goddamn thing away from me. Put that thing up. Put it back in the drawer where you got it. Okay, I don't want to see that baby again. Oh my God. Lord, then they put little Renesmee in the little dress and Renesmee was like, hello, sir, how are you today? I have fought for our country in all great American wars. I am here representing the United States as a Marine. I am proud to serve as your granddaughter. My name is Renesmee. I am also a psychic medium who also communicates with the dead. That baby was so mature. Charlie was like, I guess. All right, that's your niece. Y'all adopt. This is my grandbaby now, huh? All right. Okay, ma'am, let's go. Nice to meet you. Thank you for your service. Can I hold you? I'm your grandfather. Girl, absolutely not. Y'all kept telling me to go see what little baby Renesmee was supposed to look like, the animatronic. I said, get behind me, Satan. Look like one of them weird ass paintings you see in a museum somewhere that's like in a dark corner that don't nobody go over there. Like a 15th century heir to somebody's like French throne or something. And the baby was like, oh, nope. I don't want it. I said, go away from me. You take the battery out of that little Renesmee baby back, put the Renesmee baby in a box, put the box in the attic, seal the attic off, burn the house down, scoop up the ashes, dump them in the ocean, do a little twirl, like make sure the ashes get separated and stuff, because if you let them come back together, they'll form like another little separate baby Renesmee, and we don't have time for that. Got the nerve to put that little baby in a osh gosh begosh dress. Oh no. So now it's time for them to show us how awesome and strong Bella is. She got an arm wrestle Emmett and wins because, you know, I don't know, child. And then she goes into the sun so we can finally see Bella sparkle. I say, you better do it, Sparks. You better do it, Sparkaloo. You better do it, Sparkly, girl. That is too cute. So I don't know if when you become a vampire, you immediately get like a glow up. Pre-vampire Bella, she was dressing like Tim the Two-Man Taylor. Post-vampire Bella is dressing like Fran Fine from The Nanny. I'm not talking about the bright color. I'm talking about like short skirts with like dark tights and like a thin frame. I don't know why I thought of Fran. The Nanny. Now we get a quick little montage of little baby Renesmee growing up. Now I don't know if this happened over a week. I don't know what's going on really. But we see her turning into a child. I don't think they said how old the little girl was supposed to be, but she old enough to do long division. That there is a problem because one day they out and they catching snowflakes, and which pause, that was the most normal thing that little girl did in the whole time. I feel so bad for little baby Renesmee. Baby Renesmee got to sit around with pale, sulking ass vampires all day and put her hand on people's faces, and we don't know what be on her people's face. She just got all kind of sebaceous gland juice on her palm, and so I just feel so bad for baby Renesmee. Oh, that poor little girl got a lot in ass life because her mom and daddy is trash. Way across the Denali National Forest that is located in Forks, Washington. She see Irina on top of a mountain looking mad. Okay, because you know they had killed her old man and she don't like that. She about to go snitch. She look like a damn snitch. So they in there talking about Irina. I'm telling you, this little girl don't watch TV. She don't read books. She don't draw pictures. I don't know if the little girl knows how to spell anything. She was born like 2 weeks ago and already she's 27 years old, child. The Volturi think that the baby Renesmee is an immortal child, like a forbidden fruit kind of situation. And an immortal child, how like if they turn into a vampire when they 3, that's the age they stay. And if they get mad, they like be murdering people and they can't protect, you know, the vampire code or whatever, so they gotta kill them. So they did a flashback of when the Volturi had to go regulate on this little immortal child. Somebody close to Irina had an immortal child in ye olden times. But they killed the mama who had gave birth to the immortal. And then Jane was holding a little baby on. Wait, Jane was holding the baby on her hip and they had started a fire. And Jane was like, bloop, and she just threw the baby in the fire. Girl, when that lady threw that little baby in the fire, I wasn't no more good. Girl, why you did in the fire like that, girl? What? That made me think of my girl Dashiana. Comment down below and let me know if you remember how obsessed I was with Dashiana when she threw herself in the fire on Interview with the Vampire season. Like she was playing basketball. She saying balling. She threw that baby. You know how when you were in elementary school and you would ball up a piece of paper and then try to get it into the waste paper basket? That's what she, that little baby. Ooh, girl, listen. I must have rewound that part like 5 or 6 times. That was the best part of the whole franchise to me. Why she threw that baby away like that? That's what they should have did to little baby Renesmee. Burn that little baby at the stake, child. That thing is ungodly. So, of course, you know, Alice have a vision and she dropped something because they got to drop something. The Volturi is coming for us. Now, pause. Are the Volturi allowed to leave their little cave? They always just be sulking around in a round room with stone. I don't know. Are they not? They can't go on vacation. They don't have like a day off. Like, and who elected them? Alice and Jasper have left. I'm not sure why. So, Alice sends a note by Sam to the family that said, gather as many witnesses as you can before the snow start falling, and that's when the Volturi gonna be there. So now we got to go on an excursion. We got to go find people that can vouch for the fact that little baby Renesmee is not a gargoyle. She not dead. So they go over there to the Canadian cousins, I think. I don't know what them people at, but they always got the, you know, the boots with the fur and stuff on. Anyway, instead of just like front loading the information, he gonna wait until they all freaked out when they see little baby Renesmee get out the car with a werewolf. werewolf. So then, of course, baby Renesmee got to go put her hand on a lady's face, and then everybody's like, oh my God, she's not immortal. But then I said, pause. If the girl was 3 months old on Wednesday, and now she in the 4th grade, and it's Saturday morning, she gonna be dead by the end of the month. We don't have nothing else to worry about? Like, I don't know. Is it like a reverse Benjamin Button? Now we got to meet the motley crew of vampires who gonna be witnesses to this little abomination. We gonna meet Benjamin and them out of Egypt. And I said, Freddie Mercury, what you doing in here? It was Rami Malek. I said, y'all didn't even tell me Rami Malek was in this movie. I love Rami Malek. So then we meet the Amazonian vampires. Now the Amazonian vampires, I thought I was gonna like them, but I just didn't like the fact that they didn't say nothing. They was black ladies, okay? But then they just was like this the whole time. They was like, but something about them just didn't sit right with me anyway. They got Irish vampires. They got Irish travelers, I feel like. Then we got to meet the Transylvanian ass vampires. That's like, we will be here and pick a random ass corner of the world. And they got some vampires that pulled up over there to Forks, Washington. They be popping in Forks. Because all the vampires is vamping in the area, Jacob and them tribe is getting more werewolves because, listen, it's too much vampire energy in the place. All the people from all around the world is in these people's living room, and this little girl got to go put her hand on 18 separate delegations' faces and stuff. They didn't get that little girl no hand sanitizer. They didn't teach her nothing about hand safety and hand health, child. They just got this little girl touching on everybody's cheeks from all over the globe. You know what kind of infectious disease these people could have brought with them? These people are dead. So then we also find out that Bella is a shield, okay? And a shield means that she can shield. I'm a smart ass. Anyway, so everybody in the living room talking, and you know, they all standing at varying height. They all talking about how the Volturi is corrupt. And they all like stood up like to say, yeah, we gonna fight them with y'all. Cause Carlisle was trying to be on some like kumbaya, let's talk it out kind of thing. And Edward was like, no, bro, they trying to get my little baby gargoyle in the bag. And then everybody was like, yes! And it was kind of like a, you know, like a slow clap, but yes! I said, sit your ass down. So now we got to have the 47th tutorial of this movie, and we got to teach Bella how to use her shield. And it takes about 1.5 minutes for her to get it. Alice wrote a name, J. Jenks. Pause. Okay, so if Alice knows the name and knows that Bella is safe because Aro from the Volturi can't read her mind, why wouldn't Alice just tell Bella what the deal is and then go ahead and leave if she was gonna leave anyway? We could have saved ourselves 45 minutes in this movie. Bella dropped that little abomination off to her daddy, and the daddy said, girl, you done grew a foot since the last time I saw you. He just went with it. So she got to go meet J. Jenks. Okay, now I said pause. She had this hotel chock full of humans. She ain't having no trouble. I said, girl, are you hungry or not? So then I look and I see J. Jenks, and I said, pause again. That's Wendell Pierce, baby. Wendell Pierce. Fun fact, that's my neighbor, okay? Wendell Pierce, me and Wendell Pierce stay in the same neighborhood. Shout out to Wendell Pierce. That's New Orleans home. So the man, J. Jenks, give Bella a passport and a birth certificate for Renesmee and a passport for Jacob. So J. Jenks was hired by Jasper to like give Jacob and Bella, I don't know if it was like a new identity or like fake documents or whatever. Side note, if you all loved one does know how to create fake documents, hit my email up. I'm just curious. I'm a curious lady. Christmas time, Jacob down there sitting with little baby Renesmee. He giving her gifts and stuff. I said, hey, don't nobody have a problem with this? Y'all just okay with it. I see, that's the problem now. What am I gonna say? Jail. Now it's finally time for the battle. Poor little baby Renesmee, they done put her in a tent somewhere on top of a mountain. She can't even sleep in her own bed because her mom and daddy got to go fight. So Bella give her a locket and say, girl, listen, it's a high probability I'll never see you again, girl. So you take care, girl, and Jacob gonna make sure you safe. This what I look like for future reference, because, you know, just in case you forget stuff. This poor little abomination don't stand a chance. The Volturi coming, they all got matching outfits. And so I said, listen, but that's plus positive right there for me, because I love a good matching ensemble. One band, one sound. I said, well, listen, look like y'all about to lose. They spent maybe, I'm not even joking, like 2 minutes just for the Volturi to walk out the forest to meet them halfway. Hurry up. Like, let's go. The movie about to be over with. The little girl come over there, and then she put her hand on his face, and then Magnifico. You got me in my good cloak out here in the cold, and you done told me that this little girl was conceived and is an immortal child, talking to Irina, you know, the snitch. And so they said, girl, you gonna have to go ahead and die, bro. So they take her head off right quick. And then Aro got his bust down outside swinging in the wind, child. And then all of a sudden, Alice and Jasper walk out the woods. I said, well, where where the hell y'all been? Alice go over there and say, hey, Aurora, bro, she gonna be all right. She just a little funny looking. She just fine. She gonna stay out the way and just be funny looking. You know, she not gonna bother nobody. Say, oh my God, you was trying to go out here and fight anyway, no matter if the child was alive or dead or halfway in between. So then Alice looked back at the crew and was like, now. And then Jacob, as a wolf, little baby Renesmee, they take off and they go in the woods. Alice kicked Oro in the chin like, Kah! Like that was really funny. So of course they done hemmed Alice up, and then Carlisle is like, not my grown daughter that's almost the same age as me, absolutely not. So he go running across the field, and they immediately murder Carlisle and take his head off and light him on fire. I say, oh, hell no. Child, so then all hell break loose. Everybody fighting, scrapping, throwing things, biting people, the werewolves out there doing stuff. The next thing I know, Jasper head rolling around on the ground. I said, oh no. Then, Lord have mercy, Jane did the pain thing on Seth as a werewolf, and Seth was crying, and then the next thing you know, Seth is dead. I said, bitch, you had better fix it and rewind it and flip it and reverse it, girl. Don't do that, not Seth. See, that's why I draw the line. I draw the line at Seth. Edward getting beat up, child, because that's just what Edward do. Then the next thing you know, Benjamin, yeah, he go bow and then hit the ground, and then all of a sudden, like a little, what you call them, open up in the ground. Leah fall in the damn pit. Now Seth and Leah gone. Whole family line just dead, child, because y'all, they want to help Bella. It's literally Bella's fault that they did. Bella and Edward tag team to kill Oro. Like, I thought he was going to be really hard to beat. None of the villains in this movies are hard to beat. Why it turned out that it was just a vision in the noggin. It wasn't real. So you mean to tell me I'm mad because Carlisle, Leah, and Seth is dead, and sometimes Jasper, I felt some kind of way, and it all wasn't real? Girl, that is so lame, bro. I would have been pissed if I would have paid my money to go see this in the theater. Cause what you mean it was all a dream? R.I.P. to Biggie Smalls. That was so frustrating to me. Because I was like, okay, let's have some stakes in here. You know what I'm saying? Let's have something be, you know what I'm saying? Somebody got to die. Ain't nobody died, child. I thought we at least somebody was going to die. I would have preferred it not be set. Because, you know, I don't play by my baby, okay? So then they go and bring out this man who is a half dead, half alive person that live in the jungle some damn way. And he like, yeah, bro, mama was dead. You heard me? My daddy was alive. I just been out here kicking it in the jungle. I do a little spear fishing on the weekend. I could eat a little blood, I could eat a little steak. The world is my oyster. And then Aro was like, you know what? We about to go. I'ma see y'all later. Y'all be cool. And they just left. All my damn palms of my hands was itching. I was so aggravated. Cause did nobody do nothing. Jacob still out on the street roaming around, not in a jailhouse. Nobody broke a pottery barn bed during the yam distribution session. I am completely unsatisfied. And they have a scene where Edward and Jacob are in the woods, like telling everybody bye. You know what I'm saying? They done came all this way to have a damn conversation in the snow. You know how mad I'd be if I come from the Amazon jungle and cross a damn globe to stand in the snow and look at these people have a conversation? And so Edward talking to Jacob was like, yeah, I'm glad she has you. And then Jacob gonna say, should I start calling you dad? And I say, pause. See, that's what I'm saying. Guillotine. Then they show a flash forward with Jacob and grown up little Renesmee on the beach, and they snuggled up holding hands, and she got his head on it. You was there the whole time. Why would you write that, girl? Why would you do that? Like, that's crazy. If you didn't want me to like Jacob, you could have made him like an asshole. Why you got to turn him into a criminal ass, creeping ass, gargoyle loving ass person? I don't like that. Bella and Edward back in that wildflower field where neither one of them is sparkling, might I add. The sun literally sitting on Bella's shoulder, and all of them, they just both look pale. So she shows Edward like a little montage of their whole time together. And the I Will Die Every Day Waiting For You song come on. I was like, oh my God. I didn't know that was in here either. I know I said that like 52 times. I really didn't know that. I worked with a lady who had that as her ringtone for her husband. And I was like, girl, why you got to die to wait on a man, girl? Because I didn't know. This was like 10 years ago. Every time I hear that song, I think, what's up, Trina, girl? I didn't put two and two together because I'm a dodo bird, child. Anyway, I know that probably tore y'all up in the theater, too, when y'all saw the little montage of when he was being a weirdo in chemistry class that one time. So then they make out in a wildflower field, whilst not sparkling, and the lady said, every day I would die waiting for you, child, and then the credits roll. And I said, you know what? Let me sit with my thoughts. 17-year-old me probably would have been aggravated with this movie too. 40-year-old me is for sure enough aggravated with it. Because what you mean it was all a dream, okay? My ranking for the movies is as follows. Bringing Up the Rear is Breaking Dawn Part 2. If it was all a dream, bitch, go back to sleep. Coming in at number 4, we're gonna have Breaking Dawn Part 1. I never want to see nobody go through a pregnancy that looked like that in all my days. Pregnancy is hard enough. You mean to tell me I had to watch that girl turn into a Party City skeleton, die on a table in a very gruesome and horrible way, and then don't even give me a cute baby out of the situation? You gonna give me a reanimated good guy's Chucky doll and then name it Renesmee? No, I can't forgive that. I'm gonna come with Eclipse next. And I don't even remember what happened in Eclipse. I ain't gonna lie to you. Is that when she got her back blown out? Yeah, girl. Number 2 is gonna be Twilight, and my favorite one was New Moon, because that girl had frustrated me down to my core, babes. But it was a good time, though. I did think that I was gonna get a backstory on Alice. I thought we was gonna go back in ye olden times to see what Alice was, child, and I wanted to get to know that mama, too, Esme. All right, I don't know nothing about that lady. That lady was there making people sandwiches and stuff. I said, girl, it's more to life than making people sandwiches, girl. What's going on? Child, we wasted 72 hours planning for a fight that never actually happened. I will never forgive what they did to Jacob's character development because it was absolutely unnecessary, babe. If you wrote it the right way, we was gonna want Bella to end up with Edward old creepy ass any damn way. If y'all stuck around with me for the entire Twilight saga, I love y'all real bad. Thank you so much. This was a time. I had a blast. And the cousins told me I need to go watch 50 Shades because if I want the yam with the lore, that's where it's at. And I never saw 50 Shades. I don't know why I didn't see that either. I don't know. But I'm gonna find those and watch them next. And we gonna have a time with those too. Thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. I am tired every day in the sunshine. You know I wanna be all your... I don't know what that lady saying.